We're going to be setting up the Hamilton G5 ventilator. Before we get started, we have to put our circuit on and assemble the exhalation cartridge. Just like the Vila and a few other ventilators, there is an exhalation diaphragm. You have the amber. Again, be careful with these. They do break. Break this, the ventilator is not going to work. Once you seat the diaphragm in like this, you take it and put it on the exhalation side, which is above the PV Neo, right here, and then you line it up and then twist it until it doesn't slide anymore. Be careful, but you twist it, and that's in there just fine. The next thing I'm going to connect is the Hamilton has a patient flow sensor that looks like this. If you notice, there is a white and blue hose coming off of it. The white and blue hose will be connected to the ventilator. Pull you in so you can see a little better. And this is where it says flow sensor and one side says patient. The side that says patient has a blue aluminum disc. Connect the blue one. This one is silver, so we're going to connect the clear one. My flow sensor is now connected. Now I am going to connect. Manufacturer states that you do not have to use an expiratory filter. Many hospitals do, only because you do not want your staff breathing whatever comes out of the patient's lungs. So I just connect that one on there. This is on my exhalation side. And then on the inspiratory side, I do connect one. Manufacturer states that you do need to connect or put a bacteriostatic filter on the inhalation side of the circuit. Now, for my flow sensor, it just goes on the patient Y. If you look, it can't go that way, so I'm going to have to put it on that way. I will now lay this behind to keep this out of the way. And the next piece is you have to turn on the ventilator. To turn it on, right above the hoses is a little plastic door that flips up and down, and it's just a push button, and you push. Okay, I want to switch it back around, and then I will lift up the camera and get you in so that you can see better. Okay, now I want to turn my ventilator on. And it's going to do a self-test. Now the alarm silence is down in this corner. It's just a big circle with an X over a bell. Okay. Okay, I'm going to hit alarm silence. Now, I've already been working with this ventilator, so I know that my O2 cell has gone bad. So we are going to have to replace that. So we don't have this alarm going off constantly. I'm going to turn that sensor off. But before we can get to that, we need to do our pre-op check. Now, I'm going to go to sensors, turn off the O2. Now, to do your pre-use check, you go into pre-op check and you do tests and calibration. So the first one we're going to do is flow sensor. You just go down in line. So I'm going to hit flow sensor, and it's telling me stand by, and it says to turn flow sensor. Okay, I'm going to take it out and turn it. And your progress bar is to the right over here, and it'll automatically go through the system. If you have the cap on your flow sensor, it will ask you to remove the patient. And all that does is you need to remove the cap from the flow sensor, then it will tell you to turn the flow sensor. Up here, you can see calibration in progress. Turn flow sensor. I turn it back around, place it back on, and set it to the side. If you're doing this in the hospital, you'd probably hold it to make sure it stays clean. Calibration in progress. Okay, now tightness lit up. It's wanting me to do the tightness test. So to do the tightness test, I'm going to have to cap my flow sensor. So let's see what happens if we don't cap it. Tighten patient system. It saw too much of a leak, so I'm going to put the cap on. I'm going to put the cap on, and then make sure I mash it down. There. Now it's going to progress. It's going to go through the test. That passed. Now, this is where, if the O2 cell were working, would go into the O2 cell. Let's see, that's turned off. So if we turn on oxygen, O2 cell, it would automatically calibrate the O2 cell, but the O2 cell is not working, so it's not going to do anything. You see O2 cell in progress, calibration in progress right there. And this could take a couple minutes. So for the sake of time, I already know it's not going to pass. I'm just going to go ahead and cancel that. It says it still has 2 minutes left to do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that one. There. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off because we are ordering a new one. And that is the PreUse test. Now, when do you have to do this? If it's going on a new patient or you've made changes, then you need to do the PreUse test again. It's a pre-op check. So other than that, if you turn it off and it's going back on the same patient, you do not have to redo it. This is the pre-op or PreUse check for the Hamilton G5.